The views and opinions expressed in this podcast do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of ACUMA, its board of directors, its management staff, or its members. The podcast discussion presented is conversational in nature and for general information only.
Hello and welcome to ACUMA's ONpoint Podcast, a series focused on sharing the stories of people who are making a positive impact in the credit union mortgage industry. I'm your host, Peter Benjamin. Before we get to our episode, just a quick word from our sponsor.
This episode is sponsored by Polygon Research. As the annual HMDA data release approaches, there's no better time to prepare. With their flagship tool, HMDA Vision, Polygon Research shows you where you are outflanking your peers and where you still have work to do. Their superpower is microdata. While others offer summaries, Polygon Research shows you the details. Every loan in every market. Learn more at polygonresearch.com.
Today, I am joined by Allie Hager, mortgage loan officer with Telhio Credit Union. Allie, how are you doing today?
I am so good. Thank you so much for having me. I've been so excited for this.
Oh, my pleasure. My pleasure. I'm really excited to have a conversation with you. There's, I think we have a friend in common who's giving me a little insight into you, and we'll dive into that. But before we do, as always, we got to pull the hawk in. Justin, how you doing today? And what's the latest and greatest happening over at ACUMA?
I'm good, Peter. How are you?
Living the dream.
Someone's or yours?
Oh, always mine.
There we go. See, I almost got you with that one.
I don't know why I paused and I had to think about it for a second.
You had to think about whose dream it was.
I was like, whose dream is this?
Maybe it's your wife's dream.
Don't wake me, man. Don't wake me.
Not yet, at least, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So over here at ACUMA, we're in the full swing of event planning. Which pretty much starts as one event ends and the next one begins, and we just keep going all year round. But our first in-person event is coming up on April 8th and 9th, which will be our Viewpoint Regional Summit. So if you haven't heard me say it on previous episodes, this one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to have an experience along with it. So we're going to be heading out to see the Blue Wahoos, which is a minor league baseball team. They're going to take on, which I haven't decided which one's my favorite team, even though it's going to be the, Blue Wahoos, but they're taking on the Montgomery Biscuits. Sure. Something about biscuits and Wahoos. Like, I mean, come on, like these are the greatest names ever.
I was already planning on buying a hat and Blue Wahoos.
Yeah, exactly. But now you got to find one for the Montgomery Biscuits.
Just because minor leagues always have the best hats.
Yeah.
Like they really do.
Yeah, I have one with the sea dragon on it. It's pretty good.
I forgot the name of it, but there's one in Oregon and it's impossible to find because I always like the one
team or the hat.
The hat. Okay. I like the low profile fitted ones. But it's the why am I blanking on it? It's the Oregon Hops. I forgot the name of the town, but it's I like brewing beer, and so it's literally it's a hop clove.
Mm-hmm.
Holding a baseball bat.
So we all just learned a couple new things about you. One, you love brewing beer.
Well, that's not new.
Exactly. There we go. All right. Besides that, registration just opened up for our focal point workshops. So we have two of those. They're happening May 6th and 7th. The first one, which will be in Savannah, Georgia, and then the second one will be June 3rd and 4th in Seattle, Washington. So if you're not registered for one of those two events, what are you waiting on? The Viewpoint Regional Summit is free for credit unions and CUSOs. So come out, see us, take in all the education that we have to offer. And then also you want to mark your calendars because our 2025 Make Your Mark annual conference will be happening in Denver, Colorado from September 21st to the 24th. Registration will be opening soon, so be on the lookout for that as well. So if you can't make it to an in-person event, don't worry. We have plenty of educational content all year round with our webinars, our Fast Tracks and Inside Track series, along with our ONpoint podcast.
All right. Appreciate it, man. Well, as always, thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
All right. Allie. So, friend in common, the amazing Scotty A.
He is amazing.
He is amazing. Like I said earlier, he is the best self-promoter on earth. But he also said that you are absolutely fantastic and we had to have you on, that you are doing some amazing things and you're just an overall great person. So when I was like, okay, Scotty, if this person's all right by you, they're all right by me, and I have to talk to this person. So that's why we're here. Now, one thing that Scotty A did tell me about was that you are a stand-up comic. And because you are a stand-up comic, I guess we all kind of are figure what's, the second segment's going to be. And so we know what that's going to be. It's going to be the dad joke. So I won't, spoiler alert, we're doing dad jokes. But I before we get to, the meat and potatoes of today's conversation, I have to know. Tell me about this whole stand-up thing.
Oh my gosh. So that is a loose term to say that I am a stand-up comedian, but I did stand-up comedy because I get myself into situations that I can't get myself out of, and then I just have to go with it. So it's called the last standing comic, and it's a real estate show that's put on. They do a couple of these a year. And so it's usually realtors, mortgage loan officers. So I was one of 4 contestants this past time that got to go. And it's in front of 400 of our industry peers, sold out at the Funny Bone, like the craziest, on stage, all the things. So yes, I have done stand-up comedy. I would say that's the furthest that I can go.
Okay. All right. Well, Scotty A should be your promoter because he painted the picture.
Yes.
He painted the picture as though you were like some, Dane Cook type stand-up comedian, and that you were going on tour any minute now.
Oh my God.
So
I will. If opportunity calls, I always say yes. So whatever.
Hands down, we're going on tour. All right. Excellent. Yes. Excellent. Allie, Hager going on tour. It's like the Eras tour, but yes. Scotty A is promoting
comedy.
Absolutely. Well, that's awesome. I mean, that's always kind of sort of been the dream of mine, of doing stand-up comedy just with dad jokes, just going up there and seeing a whole, so you haven't met her yet, but can you imagine, and Justin, I'm looking at you, can you imagine going into like a room of Cameron's on our team, and Cameron's what, 27?
I don't know how she is, but yeah.
and just going up there and doing just not like an hour of dad jokes. And every time we do a dad joke, she just rolls her eyes. And although she would hate it, I would just love every second internally. I think that's the best part of dad jokes.
Is that the cringe factor?
Yes. 100%.
Yeah.
Because internally, they're laughing. On the outside, they're like, when's this going to stop?
Yeah, they don't want to laugh, but yeah, they know it's funny.
Absolutely. 100%.
Well, and the younger they are, they're too cool for school still. So,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know. And say what? And we officially, about a month ago, we transitioned to the betas. I don't even know what they're like.
Yeah. So those are going to be the beta test children.
Yeah.
Keep thinking that every time I hear beta.
My kids are alphas and they hate dad jokes.
What if the beta's logo was like beta fish? Yeah. We're not even at the segment yet. Yep. That happened.
Justin. All right, I'm segueing. All right, Allie. Thanks for ruining a moment, Justin.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, that's what I'm here for.
All right. So, Allie, I appreciate you walking me through that. I had to ask that question, of course.
Yes.
But all right. So, first question. I always ask this first question, and technically, it's not the first question anymore. But so now it's the second question. But I always preface this question with the same exact thing, and I'm going to keep doing it. The ONpoint Podcast, like I said in my intro, it's the stories of people who make positive impacts in our industry. And so, to that point, tell us about yourself. What makes Allie? What keeps you going? Like, who are you?
Yeah. So I am, first of all, a wife, a mom of 3 kids. I am a a self-starter and someone, like I said, that gets myself into a lot of situations that then I'm like, all right, we're just doing this. We're going with this. So I have been a mortgage loan officer since 2014. And so I am a mortgage lender, and I have been in the credit union space for 6 years. So I have seen big bank, I've seen brokerage, I've seen credit union, and I've been all of them, and I will promote credit unions all day long, just based on experience. But I'm a person who is always looking for how I can get better or what I can do to be better or something new that I can learn. And I would say what used to really make me tick is trying to find my purpose. Like, I would not truly know what my purpose was, and I would just be out looking to see, like, can I figure out what this would be? And now based on experience and things that I've seen and people that I've worked with and a lot of no's along the way, I've kind of discovered that my purpose is to be a person that's going to say yes to things that most people will say no to. And so now I'm like living that, and it's been really cool to see the opportunities and like just the path from doing that.
No, that's awesome. And you're not the first person to really say, I kind of sort of found my purpose in the credit union world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And I've said it, right. I lost my way, working for banks. I lost my way working for IMBs. I found it again at credit unions, right? And I think that's what makes credit unions so special, right?
For sure.
And I think that's why we push so hard to advocate for credit unions, is because they really are this amazing place, not just to work, but the idea of people helping people. It's our communities, our members really could embrace the idea of getting their home loans through a credit union. They really would see that, hey, these are people who believe in the idea, hey, of we're putting families in homes, right?
100%. Yep.
It's. I was talking to someone earlier today, and they said, jokingly, and it's serious, like every single time that they go to a broker conference, they feel like the second they come home they have to take a shower, right? and the funny thing is, like, that couldn't be more true.
Yeah, right? No, it's so true.
It's like but it's different, right?
Yeah.
It's credit unions are special, and I love that you said I found my way again, right? Because that's why we do what we do, right? And so thank you very much for sharing that.
Yeah.
Now, as always, you and I, had a conversation, pre-recording, and I really liked something you said, and I wanted to, kind of pick up where we left off about, one of the things that you said, in our conversation, pre-recording, and it was really about, making mistakes, and how really that, you've learned from your mistakes, and how that throughout your career you've had a lot of trial and error, and that ultimately through that trial and error you've been able to learn from those mistakes.
Yep.
And been more successful.
Yep.
Now, the reason why I like having this conversation is I want to have this conversation is because I think there's a lot of lessons to learn from it, right? I think the most successful people learn from their mistakes.
Yeah.
Right. And, I come from the school of thought that, and maybe it's my change management background, but if a process doesn't work, it's not a failure, right? Yeah. It's just a reason for us to learn and to improve.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm going to keep trying to improve until I get it right. Right.
Yep.
And a lot of people don't see that. A lot of people don't learn from their mistakes. They just truly don't.
Yeah.
They only go out and they just give up. So walk us through, like, some of these lessons learned. Walk us through that career journey that really kind of made you who you are today. And again, Scotty A said you were something special. Let's kind of let's kind of walk through this and the trials and errors.
So I when I started, I was at a big bank. So that was 2011 that I got into the industry, 2014 that I started lending. But yeah, so I was young when I started. I was 24 when I got into the mortgage industry. And so in that time, I was getting like led by people who I knew I could probably do what they were doing, but I was too afraid to do it because I was getting a lot of like, you would never be able to do this. Like, you should stay just assisting at this point. Like, it's really hard to do this job. Like, a lot of no's that just honestly pushed me to want to do it more. So I had one manager at that bank who believed in me, that let me start lending. And I still was getting a lot of no's. And throughout that time and leaving there and getting introduced to the credit union and getting to start at the credit union, once I got here, I found my rhythm. So I would say my year of finding myself and knowing that I could do this job was when I was 33 years old. So I was 33 years old. It was 2020. I that year closed 33 million in loans, and I got promoted to team lead. All these things were happening, and I started reading books like High Performance Habits by Brendan Burchard. There was a book called Girl Wash Your Face that I read by Rachel Hollis. Just self-help things to be like, no, I got this. Like, even if other people don't believe that I can do this, like, I believe that I can do this. So that year I just fell into my own. And then it was like a year-ish later, I was on maternity leave with my daughter. And I got the opportunity to go start a team and lead all of Columbus for another big bank. And I let it get to my head, and I was like, I'm only 35, but I was going to give myself to 40 to like get into management. But I'm like, if they want me now and I say no, then that means someone else gets to do this. So I have to do this. So I took that, left the credit union, went for that opportunity. I was there 10 months of a terrible imposter syndrome, like waking up in the morning, dreading having to go in. I built a team. I had a team of 6. We weren't doing bad. Everything was honestly going pretty well, but it was literally me every single day of like, they're going to find out that I literally have no idea what I'm doing. And I was the youngest person on my team. Everyone was older than me. And the day I knew I was in the wrong room was when I was literally in a room and my upper management called everyone that was in my same position into a meeting, except for me. They were in a closed office and I was outside of the office, and I was like, this isn't my space. Like, I shouldn't be here. And so luckily had stayed friends with all my friends at the credit union, and they luckily wanted me back. I guess later I found out that they, like, the day I left, said we have to get her back, but they let me go out and find my way, which I appreciate. So and that whole year of being there, like, I was not getting referrals from any of my realtor partners. It was such a strange time. And so I've been back for like 10 months, I guess now. And coming back, the confidence of just being back at a place that I know that I belong and that like truly cares about me genuinely as a person, and that truly genuinely cares about other people and helping people, and just the stories that I can tell of the people that I've gotten to do loans for, and the way that my confidence then shows to my realtor partners and the referrals now that are just like flowing in is just such a testament of like, you can be, a lot of people will say like, you're not going to grow if you don't get outside of your comfort. Like, you can't be in your comfort zone. You're never going to grow. But my platform now is you can be in your zone, but you can stretch within your own zone. And that's where you're going to be your best.
No, I mean, 100%. And thank you for walking us through that. I think we've all throughout our career have had those moment of imposter syndrome, right? And there's nothing scarier than having it, right? Just out of curiosity, did you ever find out what they were talking about behind that closed door?
I actually don't have no idea. I feel
you were
like
just like, well, this stinks. Peace out.
Yeah, like it probably wasn't good for me at that. Like, I think I was seeing the writing on the wall, so it was probably a good time to leave.
No, I mean, it's never a good sign. Yeah. Never a good sign when you could have a conversation. Now, just out of curiosity, like how many people were you managing? Just remind me of that.
When I went to the big bank, there were 6 people that were on my team that I hired in.
And so here you are, managing people who had more experience, older, and you had this imposter syndrome. Did they make you feel like you didn't belong?
100%. There was one guy specifically who hated every part of me being the manager. Some daily struggle. But yeah, but there was a day that I don't know what came over me, but I was like, no, I'm the manager in this situation. So I sat down with him and I said, I got hired into this position for a reason and I'm not going anywhere. So one of us would have to go somewhere and I'm not going anywhere, essentially. And I think that just standing up for myself a bit honestly made him respect me a little bit more. But yeah, I mean, it was very apparent that they were like not fully trusting what I was saying as a manager, even though we were not doing bad. Like we were doing honestly pretty well. So, or it might have been, but I think probably too, just like me overthinking the whole thing.
I mean, that's part of it, right? I mean, so, one of the things that always makes it tough, right? And I kind of got sidetracked. So I was really interested if you've ever found out what they were talking about behind closed doors was.
I kind of wish I did know. I don't really know. I don't think I cared to know.
But one of the things, with imposter syndrome is, yes, you kind of step into these situations where you might have imposter syndrome. And I think we all have it, right? We step into these positions. I mean, heck, when I took this position, I often still have it, right? Where like, what the heck am I doing in this job? Like, I'm just a nobody. But one of the things that kind of helps us combat that is staying true to ourselves, right?
Yep.
And not giving up on our values, not betraying who we are.
Yep.
And that, as long as we continue to focus on that compass, and that tends to overshadow that, I guess it's a fear, right? The fear of being discovered as a fraud.
Yeah. It's
right?
a big.
So what were some of those things that you stayed true to that allowed you to kind of stay strong in that difficult situation?
So something I found out about myself is that and I think this has recently hit me. I don't even realize I do this because it's nothing that's like huge or things that other people couldn't choose to do if they didn't want to. But one of my favorite statements that people say to me is, I would never, like, there's no way. How do you even do that? I would never do something like that. Like, I love when someone says that to me. And it's things like that I go to the gym at 5 a.m. or that I go to early morning networking meetings. Like I go to a 7:30 in the morning networking meeting every week, or the stand-up comedy stuff. Like I read a stat that more people would want to swim with sharks than to public speak. And that's so true. Like I had so many conversations because I was like, I wish this would have went better. Like I had such high hopes, blah, blah. But there's so many people that are like, you did something that nobody would ever want to do. You would never find me on a stage doing stand-up comedy in front of 400 people. That's so crazy. Like, I don't even know how you did that. And so I'm finding out that I'm having those kind of conversations a lot. And so I think that's where I maybe shine or like stay true to who I am, because I'm still going to do that. Like, I'm still going to wake up and work out at 5 a.m. or I'm still going to go to the early morning meeting, or I'm still going to say yes to opportunities that come up, even if they're uncomfortable, because I want to, not because someone else is going to put their fear into me to like, that I won't. And so I think when people see that, or people are watching that even from afar, that still gains a little bit of respect, because they're like, I would never in a million years wake up and work out at 5 a.m. That's so crazy.
I mean, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I'm an early morning person, but it's that frame of mind, right? Mm-hmm. You kind of have to make that conscious decision, just like you have to make that conscious decision to let that fear overcome you.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
That's all it is.
And I'm not by nature an adventurous person. Like those conversations are not like, oh my gosh, you went skydiving. The things I'm doing to me seem so simple. And yet there's still are so many people that are like, there's never a way I would ever do that. And so I think sticking with that and then finding that within myself is what then like has just like coming back to the credit union and just having the confidence and like, so having that confidence plus the confidence of the who I truly am and like my values and what I still hold true to who I am. And I'm not changing. Like I'm myself through and through in conversations with friends, with family at work. Like I'm just who I am. And I think that that has helped me in my career because I'm not fake. Like I'm just staying true to how I am every single day.
You're genuine.
Yeah.
100%. You gotta be it. You gotta be it. Okay. I mean, I love that. I mean, I think that's one of our, big things that we love about, our little group is that, we're all pretty genuine, right?
Yeah.
And as long as you can be your authentic, genuine self, you'll always be successful regardless. Right.
Yeah.
And you can't let fear overtake you because especially if you have that imposter syndrome, because all that's going to do is make that fear of being discovered overcome you.
Yeah, it can freeze you. That entire year, I could feel that I was different. It's just a different type. It like plays mind tricks on you.
Did anyone else notice it? Like, did like your husband notice it? Did other coworkers who knew you notice it?
I honestly don't think that people noticed it. I think it was a very internal battle that I was having because I would have to show up each day like I was fully confident in being there, but like internally I was dying. Like I was just always so like overstressed, overthinking, just like I could feel it in myself, but I don't think people on my team, I would get us into places or in front of groups or going to huge realtor meetings. Like I would set those things up and I would get us to the right places. So I think my imposter syndrome internally was hurting me, but probably outwardly kind of helping just because I was like pushing more to overcome like that feeling I was having.
Yeah. No, it's as I can tell, and as you can see, it's you're past it. You're back in your safe spot, right?
Yeah.
You're at Telhio, right? And you came back to the credit union space, and you're once again seeing success, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's your comfort zone, right? It's your binky, it's your blanket, right? And now everything's okay.
Yep.
Right.
Yep, for sure. And Telhio is just awesome. Anyway, I mean, they've been around. They were celebrated 90 years last year. Like they've been around. You walk into a room, you tell someone where you're from. Like it's good to work there.
Good. Yeah. And that's what the credit union movement's about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, before we transition, I always ask 2 final questions because we need to start transitioning. One of the final questions is any final thoughts, any words of wisdom that you can provide someone as they, perhaps someone has some, imposter syndrome out there and they're just not sure how to overcome it. Perhaps, someone's really struggling right now with just getting past, a whole bunch of mistakes. So any final words of wisdom that you can give someone?
Yeah. So I would say that something that I've recently really started implementing is the let them theory. I don't know if you're familiar, but the let them theory is essentially let them think what they want to think and let me do what I'm going to do regardless. And so just getting past other people's opinions of you or what you're doing, or if it's different than what they're used to, still just being okay with knowing that you're doing what you actually want to be doing and what you're going to be best at doing. So I would say that is number one. I would say staying true to yourself, to your values, just really relying heavily. I'm a believer, and so I rely heavily on the word of God. And I think that my number one verse that I lean on a lot is Romans 8:28, that says that he's going to work everything out for the good of those who love him and are called according to his purpose. And so that's something I lean on every single day, that, I have the backing of that. And so yeah, I would say to stay true to who you are and don't let other people's opinions fog what you know that you're going to be best at.
Okay. That's awesome. Thank you very much for sharing that. And the last question, as always, what keeps you going? That you're like everyone else, 1 foot out of bed every single day. What keeps you motivated? What keeps you driving every single day?
Yeah, I would say my motivating factor and the biggest purpose of my life is my kids. So I just want to be the best at what I do to show them that they can be the best and that they just, whatever you want to do, you can do. You can strive for whatever you want to do. I want them to see me. I want to lead by example for them. And I'm just really thankful to get to be a mom. And so they're my daily why. And they really push me to just do the best that I can.
I absolutely love that answer. I absolutely love that answer. Well, Allie, as I mentioned earlier, it's time for us to transition to our second segment. Now, always we typically do Jeopardy, we do fun facts, but I already said it. We're doing dad jokes today. The most requested segment of the show, dad jokes, and honor the fact that you are a stand-up comic. Yes, you are officially a stand-up comic.
I'll take it.
We're doing dad jokes. And you came prepared with 2 dad jokes. So here's what we do. We're going to go around the horn. You'll do your 2 dad jokes. Justin will do his 2 dad jokes. And I'll wrap up with my 2 dad jokes. And then we'll just close out. Sound good?
Yep, sounds good.
All right. Fire away whenever you're ready.
All right, you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay, the first one. Why don't skeletons fight each other?
Why?
They ain't got the guts.
That was good. That's good. Justin's laughing.
Right.
I am.
You ready for the second one?
Please.
Okay. What did the sushi say to the bee?
I don't know.
So wasabi.
What's up?
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's so embarrassing. Dad jokes are so embarrassing.
I love him. I love him so much. Justin.
All right.
Oh my gosh.
So mine are more like holiday related. But have you ever made a New Year's resolution and stuck to it?
No.
The only one that has ever worked for me is procrastinating. Yeah. And then Valentine's Day just passed, so we can't, not pay homage to that. But what did the puzzle say on Valentine's Day?
No idea.
You complete
You
me?
complete me.
Oh, okay.
I don't like you, Peter.
Good.
Do you want to do another one?
Yes, I do. I hate when you get mine. How do you put a flower in the friend zone?
How?
You tell it you're my best bud.
Okay, that was good. Okay, that was good. All right, my turn. What do you call the pink fleshy bites between the shark's teeth?
Oh.
Human flesh.
Slow swimmers.
That too.
All right. Growing up, the weirdest summer job I ever had was cleaning the monkey cages at the local zoo. That shit was bananas.
Yes.
And now we're explicit.
You're welcome, Justin.
Thank
I was
you.
saving it for the very end.
You said damn earlier, so we lost it.
Ah, damn it. All right.
It's okay.
And that wraps up dad jokes for this episode. Thank you very much, Allie, for joining us today. Really do appreciate your time.
It was such a pleasure.
Oh, great. And I really do appreciate, talking to you. It was a great conversation. I really enjoy everything that you're doing over at Telhio. Keep up the great work. I really do appreciate the fact that Scotty A introduced us. Love an opportunity to, see you at one of our events, learn more about your story. I think it's important that the credit union movement continues to have more people like you that are invested in our communities and our members, but also that are true believers in what we do. So, one, thank you for that. I think that's very important. But two, again, this is a great conversation. So thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much. And it's actually on my goal list for 2025 to attend a conference. So
Excellent.
see you there.
Excellent. And Justin, as always, thank you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
And to close out, thank you again to Polygon Research for sponsoring today's episode. And to all of you, we know your time is valuable. Thank you for tuning in to the latest episode of ACUMA's ONpoint Podcast. We hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, be well, my friends.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time at the ACUMA ONpoint Podcast. If not already, be sure to subscribe and give us a 5-star rating. For more great episodes and information, be sure to visit us online at acuma.org, and to get the latest updates, head over to our LinkedIn page.